Oh, you play conkers where you smash them together?
No, we just put them in the sand pit.
That's so cute.
We left them there, and they started to grow in the spring. Like there were
really?
so many little trees.
That's so cute.
Namaste everyone.
Namaste.
How are you all?
Really good, thank you.
Thanks.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's begin today's session. Sit in any comfortable pose. Close your eyes. Now we will chant 3 times Om together. Inhale. Join your hands together in front of the heart center. Bow your head down. And then open your eyes while blinking. And namaste to everyone. Okay, then let's begin today's session. So what did we discuss yesterday? Do you remember what did we do yesterday?
We did the revolved triangle pose, I think.
No, we did vinyasa.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
So do you have any question about any poster? Let's discuss about that otherwise.
I don't think so.
No posture? Okay, then let's talk about pigeon pose. Pigeon pose. Are we done with it?
No, not yet.
No? Okay, so in the pigeon pose, you may already know that in pigeon pose, this is your hip opening posture in which your one leg would be behind, other leg would be front and bent. Okay, and then back leg. See, as I told you yesterday, if your one leg is behind and other leg is in front, your back leg is supposed to always rotate it inward. Okay, if you are aiming to keep your hips square. All right. So in this pigeon pose, again we are going to try. We try to get our hips square completely towards our front side. Okay. So your front leg that will be bent, and your back leg that will be rotating inward. Okay. And there are 4 actions in your ankle joint. So that is your flexion, extension, inversion or eversion. Okay. So when you're pointing your toes forward, this is called flexion of your toes. When you're pulling your toes back, this is called extension of your toes. Okay. When you make your toes when you make your toes pointed and rotate them in, this is called inversion. This is your eversion. Okay, inversion and eversion. Okay, so in that pigeon pose, our back leg, or our front leg, that should be always into the 90-degree angle. This will not be below than 90-degree angle. Okay, so this has to be straight. This 90-degree angle will be made in between your legs. Okay, then you have to always make your toes pointed, because see, your toes, they directly influences your hip joint and your leg rotation. Okay, if you make your toes pointed forward, now automatically your leg will start to rotate in. But if you pull your toes back towards you, now what will happen?
Yeah.
Sorry, when you make your toes pointed, your leg will start to rotate outward. But when you pull your toes back towards you, now you will feel this internal rotation in your legs. Okay, that you can also observe when you are lying on your back. Okay, just lie down on your back. Let's observe. Lie down on your back. and then make your toes pointed forward. Just make your toes pointed. Now, what are you feeling? Do we have extension or flexion on our hips? Extension means outer rotation of your legs. Flexion means internal rotation of your legs. Okay. So what are you feeling? Internal rotation or outer rotation in your legs?
Outer rotation.
Outer rotation when you're making your toes pointed. Okay. Now pull your toes back towards you. This is called extension of your toes. So now how your legs are rotating? Are they rotating in or out?
Inwards.
Inward. Okay. So that's we need to keep in our mind when we are keeping our toes pointed. At that time, our leg will rotate outward. But if we are pulling our toes back, then your leg will start to rotate inward. Now come back, Catherine. Don't slip there. Okay. So in the pigeon pose, it's very easy to understand your back leg position, but your front leg, that should be also understood and kept in our mind. Okay. So let's suppose if you're pulling your toes back like this, so now, as I said, if you're pulling your toes back towards you, now you will have internal rotation or outer rotation?
Internal.
Internal rotation. Okay. So when we are pulling our toes back, we have got internal rotation, not on our upper leg, only on the lower leg. But our upper leg, the tendency of our upper leg in the pigeon pose is to rotate outward, right? Right. So make sure your toes, that is going to influence your lower leg. If you pull your toes back, that will rotate inward, but your upper leg is rotating outward. Again, we have to bring that stability in our knee joint. So there should be no twisting in the pigeon pose. Okay. So in the pigeon pose, this is the main mistake that we usually do. We pull our toes back like this, and then we push our front knee down. Now this internal rotation and your outer rotation of your upper leg, internal rotation of your lower leg, and then there will definitely be a twisting. Okay, that we are supposed to avoid. So how we gonna avoid this? How we gonna modify this? By making our toes pointed. Okay, so the moment when you make your toes pointed and press from the outer edge of your feet or foot, then what's gonna happen? Now you are more aware and you are bringing the information from the floor. That's what we need to have in this pigeon pose. The moment when you press from the outer edge of your foot, now you will have that information from your lower leg to your upper leg. Now this is your complete outer rotation in your front leg. Okay, so that's the thing we have in this pigeon pose. So how are we going to enter in this pose? From the downward facing dog, we're going to reach our one leg up and bring your knee forward towards your right elbow. From here, try to touch it. Make sure you're making your toes pointed, not pulling back. Make your toes pointed and then adjust your right foot beside your left palm. And then drop your right knee beside your right wrist. Now there should be a 90-degree angle. After this, just drag your back leg back, and then push your hip down and make sure your toes are pointing out. Now make a cup of finger, lift your chest up, and try to shift your body weight onto your back hip like this. Okay, do not lift like this. Just shift your body weight on your back leg. If it is getting too intense, too
Oh, it's muted again. Oh no, now it's back.
okay, to make it a bit easier.
Okay.
Okay, then hold the position and no need to fall down. Have you seen pigeon? How does it look like? Does it look fallen pigeon or like high pigeon? Has to be straight. That has to be straight like this. There should be no bend. Okay, so and if you are struggling with your back leg, do not compromise with that. Use always the block underneath your hip. Okay, and be gentle to your body. The body is your temple. Okay, let's do it together. Now take your right leg up, bring your knee forward towards your right elbow. Now place your right foot beside your left palm. Very nice. And first push your knee down, and then take your back leg more back, tuck your other toes under. Take your back leg more back, more back, more back. Now make your toes pointed and make a cup of finger with your both hands. Roll your shoulders back and then pull up your chest high. Good job. So this is your pigeon pose. All right. You just need to hold here and keep on rotating your back leg inward and feel that stretch on your hip flexors. Do you know the hip flexors? Where are they? Where are the hip flexors? Yeah, it's in front over here. Okay. So that is your hip flexors, and this is the main purpose of doing this pose. So what does it give? Does it give us flexibility or mobility or strength? What do you feel like? Yeah, come on. Whatever you're feeling, just tell. Don't feel so much about it.
Mean again?
Yeah.
What does mobility mean again? I forgot.
Mobility, where we are just rotating from the joints, where we won't have that much stretch, but we are rotating from the bottom.
Is it mobility then?
That is mobility, like where we can make the circumduction. Okay, that is your mobility. So what do you feel like?
I feel like mobility.
Mobility on your front leg, but
Yeah.
flexibility on your back leg. Okay.
Mhm.
See, flexibility that we can easily gain in on our muscle, but mobility that comes in your joints. Okay. So front leg, you're increasing the mobility of your front leg, and back leg, you're stretching that muscles. All right. And you don't need to fall down. If you fall over, just fall down. You won't have that much stretch. Just completely bend down. Stretch your arms forward, Catherine. Bend forward. Yes. Now, are you having the same stretch on your back leg?
No.
Now, there will be no stretch on your back leg, but on your front leg, it is going to increase.
Yeah.
Okay. On your front leg, it is going to increase, but on your back leg, that will be released. Okay. So make sure if you are working on the mobility of your front leg, then you can lie down, or like you can lie down. But if you just want to have that stretch on your back leg or on your hip flexor, you have to hold there and sustain this elevation of your chest. Okay. So this is the thing we have to keep in our mind. And what else we have in this? Either you can tuck your back toes under, then you will have more elevation, more stretch on your back leg. Okay, this is also going to bring more stability in your back knee, and your hips will be square. So I have a question for you. What do we have in this pose? Is it like in our hip joint? Is it extending or is it flexing? See, when we do back bend, that is the extension of your hips. When we do forward bend, that is your flexion of your hips.
Is it extension?
Extension means when you do back bend and your hips start to open. When your hips start to open, that is your extension, like warrior B, like wide leg forward bend. So what do we have? Is your hips closed or open?
Open.
See, openness is like this, but the close is like this. Okay, now your hips are closed. So we have got flexion of our hips. This is the flexion of your hips. Okay, now release back from the posture and get back to the plank. Now drop your knees, chest in on the floor. Inhale, swing yourself forward for the Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Exhale, roll back on your toes for Paravatasana. Now take your left leg up in the air, all the way high. Stretch. Exhale, bring your left knee towards your left elbow and then left foot on beside your left palm. Yes. And then drop your knee down and take your back leg back. Keep on stretching your back leg even more backward. Now make a cup of finger with your both hands, lift your chest up, elevate high, pull up high, and then hold. Stay for 5. Make your toes pointed, push your hips down, 4, and try to shift your body weight onto your back leg. 3, 2, and then 1. Bend forward, walk your hands forward. So now this is the variation of your pigeon pose. Good job. So now we are working on the mobility of our front hip, not on the extension of our back hip muscles. Now with the next inhalation, walk your hands back to the center. Now pull your chest up high, very nice. Now tuck your back toes under and then stay and elevate your hips slight more up and then hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now release back to the plank. Now drop your knees down, chest down, chin down on the floor. Inhale, swing yourself forward for the Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Exhale, roll back on your toes for Paravatasana. Now again, send your right leg back up in the air, all the way high. Exhale, bring your knee forward towards your right elbow, and then right foot on your left palm. Sorry. Now again, take your back leg more back. So have you heard King Pigeon Pose or Rajakaputasana?
I think so.
Have you heard King Pigeon Pose or Rajakaputasana before? Never? Okay, I think Catherine knows it.
Oh,
So,
like
yes, this is your Rajakaputasana. Yes. See, in this Rajakaputasana, you cannot keep your front leg into 90-degree angle. Why? See, can you do this Rajkaputasana? We can do it, but if you are hypermobile. But if you are not hypermobile, or if you are normal, or you are like beginner or intermediate, then it's going to be very hard to keep your front leg into 90-degree angle and then getting into that King Pigeon pose. Okay, then we are supposed to bring our front foot close to our left hip. Bring your right foot close to your left hip and then bend your other leg at the knee. Yes. Now try to grab your left foot with your left hand. No, do not do back bend. You're not warmed. And then adjust your, see, Catherine, just go easy. Just bend your one leg and then adjust your right leg in your elbow like this. Okay. And then grab your other palm and look front and chest open. Okay. Just understand what is happening in this pose. Okay. We are not getting to the peak pose. We are just modifying or making that variation of this King Pigeon pose because we are not warm. Okay. So in this pose, what you are feeling, we do have back bend, we do have hip opening, and we also require to have shoulder openness. Right? So what is the main mistake we usually do? We try to keep our front leg into 90-degree angle that we cannot do because see, when your hips are square, when your hips are flexed, your hips are flexed right now, right? Flex means that is moving forward. So extension means when your hips are moving backward, right? But if we are flexing our hips and our front leg that is rotating outward, right? Our front leg is rotating outward. Whenever our hips, whenever we are flexing our hips, our leg is supposed to rotate inward, right? When we do forward bend, that is your flexion of your hips or a pelvic girdle, and our leg that is supposed to rotate inward. The same thing happens here. If your hips are flexing forward, that means your leg is also supposed to rotate inward, but your front leg is rotating outward. So we will not like make this worse. We will just we will compromise a little bit with our leg. We will bend our front leg in more like less than 90-degree angle. Okay, bring it as close as possible, and then that is then you can get to the king pigeon pose. Otherwise, you may get hurt or you may fall into injury if you're keeping your front leg into 90-degree angle and then you trying to get your hands up because your hip is not extended right now.
Mhm.
Your hip is completely bending forward. Okay, now let's do it one more time. Grab your leg, go easy, and then hold there. Look up high to the ceiling. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now release your leg down. Now press your palms, send your right leg back for the plank. Drop your knees, chest and chin on the floor. Inhale, swing yourself forward for the Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Exhale, roll back on your toes for Paravatasana. Now send your left leg back up in the air, all the way high. Exhale, bring your left foot close to your left elbow. And then adjust your legs down on your mat. Now bend your other leg at the knee, sink your hips down, push your both hips down on your mat, and bring your front foot close to your other hip. Yes, now holding on your right foot, grab your leg, and then pull up high. Not like this. Yes. Now open up your chest. So this is the preparation of King Pigeon Pose. Now with the next exhalation, release your hands down and then send your legs back for the plank. Now drop your knees, chest chin on the floor. Inhale, swing yourself forward for the Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Exhale, roll back on your toes for Paravatasana. Now press your palms, jump forward for the halfway look up. Now we will warm up for 15 minutes and then we will again do the King Pigeon Pose. Exhale, completely bend down, lengthening your spine. Inhale, all the way come up high. Stretch your arms. Exhale, bend forward, hands on the floor. Inhale, halfway look up. Exhale, jump back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now stay there again. 1, 2, and 3. Now drop your knees, chest chin on the floor. Inhale, swing yourself forward for the Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Exhale, roll back on your toes for Paravatasana. Now stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now again drop your knees, chest in on the floor. Inhale, swing forward for the Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Exhale, roll back on your toes for Paravatasana. Now jump forward for the halfway look up. Exhale, completely bend down. Inhale, stretch your arms over the head. Exhale, bend forward, hands on the floor. Now send your right leg back. Floor. Sink your hips down. Drop your back knee on the floor. And then stretch both hands up over the head. All the way come up high. Good job. And sink your hips down, bend your elbows into cactus hand. Pull your chest up, sink your hips down, and then hold. For 3, 2, 1. Exhale, again hands on the floor. Step back to the plank. Drop your knees, chest chin on the floor. Inhale, swing yourself forward for the Cobra Pose. Exhale for the downward facing dog. Now step your left leg forward in between your both hands. Drop your back knee on the floor. Inhale, sweep your arms up over the head. Slightly bend your elbows into cactus hands. Open up your chest, pull your chest high. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, again bend forward. Step back to the plank. Drop your knees, chest chin on the floor. Now stay in this position, walk your knees forward. And then lift your both knees off the floor. No, walk, slide back, Heidi. You have walked so much forward. Now lift your knees off the floor and keep your hips high. Lift your knees, both knees off the floor. Hold. 1. Catherine, lift your knees. 2, 3, 4. Now drop your knees down. Now inhale, swing yourself forward again for the Cobra Pose. Exhale, roll back on your toes for Paravatasana. Now take your right leg up in the air all the way high. Now slightly bend your right leg at there. Slightly bend your right leg and look at your right foot from left side. And then hold. Open your hip out, reach your tailbone high. Hold for 3. Pull your chest up, reach your tailbone high. 2, 1. Exhale, release your right leg down. And then send your left leg back up in the air. Now bend your leg at the knee and then look at your left foot from outside. Now stay again for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release your left leg down. Now we will again up in the air. Then drop your right leg behind your left leg like a wheel pose, like a chakrasana wheel pose, and then open up your hand and then make a nice arc on your back. Yes, push your hips up, very nice. Keep your left leg straight, right leg bent, push, keep elevating high and then hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, release back to the center for the tabletop. Now again, get back to the downward facing dog. Send your left leg back up in the air, all the way high. Now drop your left leg down behind your right leg and then open up your chest out, push your hips up, elevate your shoulder, look at your palm, and hold. 1, 2. Just look at your palm facing down to your face. 3. Push your hips up slightly. 4 and 5. Exhale, release back to the center. Good job. Now drop your knees down, chest down, and chin down on the floor. Inhale, swing yourself forward for the Cobra Pose. Exhale, roll back on your toes for mounting. Pedal out your legs one by one. Bend your one leg at a time. Keep on stretching. Now jump forward one more time for the half look up. Exhale, completely bend forward. Now inhale, stretch your arms for the chair pose, Utkatasana. Now we will do twisted chair pose. Hook your right elbow on your left knee and then twist your spine. Press your hands against each other. Pull your chest up. Now hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale back to the chair pose. Exhale, other side. Hook your left elbow on your right knee. Twist. Look up high and then hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale back to the chair pose. Exhale, bend forward, hands on the floor. Inhale, half a look up. Exhale, jump back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pedal out your legs one by one. Now again, take your right leg up in the air, all the way high. Now stretch your leg up. Keep on stretching. Now from here, make circle with your right leg. Make circles with your right leg. 1, 2, make a big circle. 3, 4, 5. Now on the other side, make circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now release your right leg on the floor. Now send your left leg up in the air. Now again start to make circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now on the other side, make circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your leg down. Again, for the last time, drop your knees, chest in on the floor. Now stay. Walk your knees again forward. Yes, and then hold. For 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, swing forward for the Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Chest open. Exhale, roll back on the toes for Paravatasana. Pedal out your legs one by one. Now take your right leg up in the air and then come up into the King Pigeon Pose. Drop your knee down, back hip down, adjust your leg, and then bend your other leg at the knee. Pull your chest up. Keep pulling up high. Now stretch your back leg. Stretch your shoulders together for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release down. Now send your right leg back. Now left leg forward. King Pigeon Pose. Bend your left leg and then grab, open up your chest. And then hold 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, release your hand down. Again, send your left leg back for the plank. Drop your knees, chest, chin on the floor. Inhale, swing yourself forward for the Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Exhale, the mountain or downward facing dog. Now, one more time, we will do King Pigeon Pose with our right leg forward. Drop your back knee on the floor, bend your left leg at the knee. Now we will grab from behind. Just grab your big toe. Just Heidi, just look at here. What we're gonna do now? We're gonna grab our toe like this. Grab our toe. Yes. And then rotate your shoulder up like this and then reach your head up. This you have to rotate your shoulder completely outward from outside. Yes, that's how. Just rotate, pull, and now grab with your both hands. Grab your back foot with your both hands. Grab, grab, grab. Grab your toe. Grab your ankle. Yeah, pull your chest up. And try to drop your head down on your back foot. Lower your head down and then hold. 1. Pull your chest up. Just bring that awareness on your shoulders. Pull your chest up. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release down. Just normalize your breath into the pigeon pose. Relax there. Just stay for a while. Now send your right leg back for the plank. Now step your left leg forward for the pigeon pose. Now King Pigeon Pose, bend your right leg. Now holding on your big toes, open up your chest. Grab your right foot. And hold there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, slowly gently release down into the pigeon pose. Completely bend forward, relax there. Completely bend down and relax for a while. Normalize your breath. Sorry. Now release back to the child pose. Now extend your both legs forward for Dandasana. Staff pose. Legs forward. Now hold on your big toes. Now inhale, chest open. Exhale, completely bend down. Stretch your spine, stretch your neck. Keep on bending forward. Inhale, halfway look up. Exhale, again bend your elbows and lower your head down. Stretch. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale again, halfway look up. Exhale, release your arms down. Now sit in any comfortable pose. Keep your spine straight, nice and long. Let's finish today's class with 1 Om followed by 3 Shanti. Take a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Join your hands together in front of your heart center. Bow your head down. And namaste to everyone. And then enjoy your day. Do you guys have any question about today's class? You may ask.
For beginners in the normal pigeon pose, do they have to keep their front leg at 90 degrees still, or can they bring it in to make it easier to make their hips square?
Yes, see, in the pigeon pose, see, it's not all about your flexibility of your back leg. We're also working on the mobility of our front leg. For the beginners, if he's very beginner, like he is very stiff with his leg, then he cannot even make this 90-degree angle. Okay. So for those, you can slightly bend, but try to make that into 90-degree angle and use that block and it drop underneath your hip. Okay, so that it is going to increase the mobility of your front leg. Okay, so in this we are stretching our front leg, that we are increasing the mobility. That is why that is should be into 90-degree angle. If you are bringing it close, then there is no benefit of doing this pose. Okay, so how did you like this king pigeon pose?
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I felt definitely a stretch on my side as well when we were reaching over, doing like that with the leg up. I couldn't, when we had when we were holding the toe, I couldn't then hold it with my other hand. I don't know whether I was doing it slightly wrong, but it was twisting my spine quite a lot, or you know, bending my back backwards quite a lot. But maybe that's just a flexibility sort of thing. If I was maybe more warmed up, or if I practiced it more, maybe I'd be able to reach it.
So I saw you that you were struggling in this king pigeon pose. You just need to work on little on your shoulders. Once you get enough mobility in your shoulder, then it's going to be very easy. Okay, your spine is fine, but your shoulder, they were very stiff. They could not rotate or roll.
Yeah, I wasn't. Maybe I was just doing it slightly wrong, but yeah, I'll have to try that again.
While doing this, you have to keep your hand straight. So, but it was your bend. Okay.
Okay.
Try to extend them. Okay, then see you day after tomorrow on the Monday. Enjoy your day. Bye bye. Happy weekend.